Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello, I'm Beaumont and welcome to another episode of Secrets Exposed. This is the series that takes you up close and personal with leading business experts. And our topic for this interview is how to develop a digital marketing plan for your business. That coming up in just a moment. My special guest today is leading digital marketer Samuel Junghenn, and our topic for this interview is how to develop a digital marketing plan for your business. Samuel, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell me, how long have you been interested in digital marketing, and when did your interest in this area first start?
Well, it first started way back in 1998, actually, when the internet was still quite young in Australia. And I kind of saw this internet thing. I was like, wow, this is amazing. You can communicate with people around the world, and the potential for this is just unbelievable. But after about 3-4 months of trying to investigate this thing and listening to the voices, the family and the friends, and they're like, this internet thing, it's just a scam. It's just another one of those things. Don't get caught up in this new scam thing. I'm like, all right, well, okay, well, I better listen to them. And then ended up going away and had a number of different businesses over the years, and there was this burning thing in the back of my head, like just calling me. And then it's really funny, a multi-speaker kind of event in 2008, and these guys were talking about, making money online and marketing online and generating business. And I'm like, that's the thing that I was interested in 10 years ago. So it's kind of came full circle. And then it's just like I've come home and it's what I do every day now.
Right, and you now run a very successful agency, right, where you work with dozens of clients at any one time to help them with everything relating to digital marketing.
Yes, absolutely. So we've had Think Big Online for about, 8-9 years now?
Yep.
And we help businesses in all different niches, e-commerce, digital products, I guess, and service-based businesses.
All right, great. So we're going to get into the details about how other people can create a digital marketing plan for their businesses. First of all, I want to establish what digital marketing is and how is it different to, say, internet marketing?
Okay, so I guess that's a good question. And the slight distinction would be internet marketing is really just internet-based things, whereas digital really expands out could include text message marketing, digital billboards, digital signage you might see in an office space.
Applications now, apps on phones or apps on computers.
Absolutely. And
there's even apps on televisions now as well, which you wouldn't really consider to be sort of internet, but it is another form of digital advertising, digital marketing.
That's right. And the more as technology evolves, you start to see all these platforms being tied in together and integrated very tightly. So, yeah.
Okay, so that's what digital marketing is. Do you think all businesses should participate in and could benefit from digital marketing?
Absolutely. I might be a little bit biased, but I mean, even you look at the statistics, it's something like 74% of people will look you up online, even if they've heard about you somewhere else. So what this means is if you've met someone at a networking event, Dale, and they say, well, Dale is an amazing guy and I want to do business with him, they'll actually go to Google and they'll search for you and they'll look up to see who you are and what you're about and what other people think about you before they will commit to doing business with you. So even just on that basis, the answer is yes, 100%. Everyone, doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor or if you're in manufacturing, you need to have some sort of digital presence that people can get to kind of know, like, and trust you.
Even businesses that say, oh, I'm a bricks and mortar business, or I'm kind of, just your kind of old school traditional type. The thing is that your market's not getting any younger, right? They're only getting older. So, got new people kind of coming through. And if you want to be relevant for them, you'd have to be thinking about digital methods, correct?
Absolutely. And I mean, it looks like, this day and age, the kids are born with an iPhone or an iPad in their hands. So, that generation coming through, you've definitely got to stay relevant.
Yeah, and I think now a lot of times we just associate digital with younger people, but a lot of older people, even my grandfather that was in his 80s got a Facebook account because that's how we all communicate, and he wanted to stay a part of our lives, and we wanted to communicate with him on a regular basis as well. So it's oftentimes it's really not really age specific anymore. It's really the entire market in some way is interacting with digital content.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about why online and how important it is to develop a plan. That's really what we're talking about here, because oftentimes we could easily go straight into different mediums, and I'm sure many people come to you and going, Samuel, should I be doing Facebook ads, or should I be doing Google, or should I be doing an app? Like, what should I actually do? And they're going straight to the medium first. Is that the right thing to do, or would you recommend another approach?
Yes, so you're 100% right. That's why you need a full plan or a strategy rather than tactics, because the two things that we see commonly happen with campaigns that fail are they don't really treat it seriously, and they go, well, we're going to do a tactic. We'll just run some Facebook ads and we'll get business, and we'll all be rich. And that's what some people are kind of pushing out there, but it's not. In reality, it's not really what works.
Okay, so let me ask you then a question. What are the elements that make up, if we need a plan, we need a strategy, and a lot of people want to embrace digital, what makes up this what sounds like a mystical thing, the plan? Like, what is the plan?
Yeah. So starting off, you need to have a really clearly defined audience, and it just goes back to marketing 101.
So there's 5 steps to this plan, right? So this is number 1 if people are taking notes?
Yep.
Okay, so number 1, just to again frame it up, having a well-defined audience. Yeah, is that what it's about?
Yeah, clearly defined audience. And just because we're talking audience, it doesn't mean that you can't have audiences, but it's starting with one target market that you can solve a really clear problem for. And that will make your marketing a lot more effective, as opposed to this blanket kind of approach, which doesn't end up being profitable for most small businesses. And so that's why it starts with the audience and really drilling down demographically and psychographically to figure out the attributes that make up those people.
Okay, now we're going to go into each of these in much more detail, and I've got 5 or 6 questions on each one. But just to give people the plan kind of up front, we're now going to go on to number 2. So what is number 2 in this 5-step digital marketing plan?
So number 2 is, once we've established who it is we're exactly after, we want to go find out where those people are hanging out. And so that could be Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, it doesn't matter, but we go and we define or find out where those people are that we've clearly defined.
Okay, and I've got some more questions coming up soon about how do we find where people are hanging out, but let's go on to number 3. Number 3 I find really interesting. Tell us what it is.
So number 3 is a crystal clear, compelling offer. And that is a way of, I guess, it doesn't matter if you've got a product or a service, but creating something that they feel like they can pick up. And this is probably more relevant to people that have a service-based business. You still need to sell it like a product so that people get the feeling like they can pick it up off the shelf and go and, and take it home with them. And we'll go into that in a bit more detail, but I guess step 4 is about having a conversion mechanism, which we'll go into in a bit more detail.
The question is, what is a conversion mechanism?
Bit of a
Do you want to quickly
weird...
just give us the concept and then we'll talk about specifics later?
So conversion mechanism is having something that people can
consume or use?
Not so much consume. I guess the best way to describe it would be something that they can take the next step forward towards you with. Yeah.
All right, so a mechanism to call it a conversion mechanism, I'm guessing, to turn them from a lead into a sale. Was that right?
Yeah, or even it might be turning them into a lead in the first place.
Okay.
So they're gone from being a visitor to now being a lead.
Okay.
Or from being a lead into a sale.
Okay,
yeah.
Or taking a trial, whatever it is, your business model, how it works.
Exactly.
All right, now number 5 was another kind of new concept about a nurture system. So what is a nurture system?
I guess it's taking the user journey, the customer journey, from right before they know about you till when they become a paying client and repeat purchases, and laying that out and then using a piece of software to kind of manage that process. Because just because someone doesn't buy today, it doesn't mean that they're not qualified. It just means that they're not ready to buy today.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is quickly just summarize this for people that are watching, and then we're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we're going to go into it in much more detail. But number 1 was have a clearly defined audience or audiences, but just start with 1, and we can expand that out later. Then find out where these people are hanging out. They've got a whole bunch of questions about how people can do that. Having a crystal clear, compelling offer. That was number 3. And number 4 was having a conversion mechanism, and number 5 was a nurture system. Anything else that we need to know about this plan before we then dive into detail around each of these areas?
That's pretty much it at the high level.
At the high level?
Yep.
All right, great. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we're going to go into these in a lot more detail. And I've also got some other questions.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.